Why do we, as photographers and videographers, get so excited about the prospect of new gear? I mean, it's not like we can use it on ourselves. If you're like me, you're using it to take pictures of other people. It's not like being given a massage voucher so I can use it on myself. It's like you're working as a waiter and your boss gives you a new tray, a new big silver tray. It's an f1.2 tray, can hold 5 more glasses. That's what I think it's like sometimes. We'll talk more about that later. But first, let's talk about this setup I've got here. I'm filming on the Samsung Galaxy S10 5G. I'm going to compare that to the Sony a7 III. It's going to be a very apples to spaceship comparison. I think the only thing I'll keep consistent is the lighting, which is why I'm filming inside. Actually, the truth is I ran out of time. I really wanted to film this outside, which is why I'm holding it. I refuse to put it on a tripod. So we'll do a handheld test on both. And we're in 1080 because I wanted some beauty filtering on the front camera. And if you do that, apparently 1080 is the highest you could go. So 1080 on the a7 III it is. So is the phone camera good enough for short films? So I've got a theory. If you've got a good story and you have perfect sound, then your camera could be shit. Doesn't matter. As long as it's good enough and you can kind of see the characters in the screen. This is distracting, I can see myself because it's the phone. But we'll try. Look at the lens, look at the lens. That's my tip for beauticians, mainly, and influencers. Look at the lens. If you spend your whole video looking at this, it looks like you're talking to yourself. And the audience is here, it's in the lens. You want to connect with the audience. You want to look into their eyes while they're sitting on the computer, probably on the other side of the world, feeling sad for themselves because it's so cold over there right now. And here it's too hot. I wanted to film it outside, but it's too hot. This is so hard to not look at yourself, but to look at the lens, look at the lens. Is it working? Does that talk to you? That speaks to you? But here it doesn't. There it does. So, I filmed a wedding on the weekend, right? And it was one of those experiences that make you think, oh man, what the hell am I doing? Why am I doing this? Firstly, I was a surprise. The bride didn't even know she was getting a videographer. So this whole time, I'm thinking, so how's that gonna work? Like, normally the bride is the one who knows and who has planned like the whole day. So how is it gonna work? Basically, to cut a long story short, it didn't really work out. It was chaotic, she was overwhelmed. The photographers, they weren't mean, but they were like just in their own little world and they weren't really planning with me either. So, you know, that's lonely, but at the same time, forget about loneliness. You need to work as a team. Anyway, the whole day was chaos and like, whoa, I was thinking, what the hell am I doing? This is a hard day. Even from the beginning, like I've never been a present before. I thought, well, do I have to be wrapped up in, put a red ribbon around my head? Oh, hello, hi, I'm videographer, here to film you. Oh, one more thing. No food. No food for the videographer. Okay, but that's all I'll say. When it's a messy day like that, and it was messy, there was bushfires and they changed the venue like 3 times. In a day like that, you really want small cameras, you want to run around, set up really quickly, and you want the autofocus. So I was happy with that, I guess. Good old Sony. I always want to upgrade. I don't know why. I want to get back to making my films, And I think I'm heading towards like a S10 and whatever, and maybe a whole Blackmagic ecosystem and switch over to Resolve and do all that stuff. Anyway, do all that stuff. I'll get around to it. That was the whole point of leaving a 3D job, was to do that. So I am going to do that. But weddings are paying the bills. And speaking of which, the Sony cams that I had were perfect. Crazy day, chaos. I really needed that autofocus and they were light, and this video isn't sponsored by Sony. I'm just trying to say that in that case, it was perfect. Why would I upgrade? Back to the question, would I make a short film out of this? If I had to, then yeah. I mean, it's not bad. Obviously I wouldn't have any beauty settings turned on, and I'd stick a LUT on there anyway. That's another funny thing. A lot of people, not everyone, a lot of people get their Blackmagic and they film in RAW, and then they just smash on a, what is it? Film convert. No matter what it is. Grade it in film convert. I'm not saying everyone does it, but why? Why do all that raw filming just to smack on a film convert LUT anyway? But I would do the same. If I had it, I'd film in RAW. Let's switch over to the Sony a7 III now. So it's not really that fair because it's the 28mm f2. So the phone can't do that. I think I'm filming at about f2.5, 1080. Oh yeah, one more quick thing about the wedding on Saturday, last Saturday. Like, so disorganized was this wedding that she really wanted me to film the dad, you know, the father, first look, which is emotional. You want to film that? That's cool. I said, yeah, sure, I'll film all that. And while all this is going on, they're changing venues from outdoors to indoors. So it's all very exciting, it's all happening. And she goes from that moment to pretty much sprinting up this hotel corridor, because it's all one venue, to where the ceremony is. And she's about to walk down the aisle, and I haven't even set up, and I'm on my own. And I said to the pastor, hey, actually, can you sit everyone back down? I just need 5 minutes and I have to set up. And that sounds really unprofessional of me, but I did actually say, hey, this is earlier in the day, hey, I need to leave at least 15 minutes before you to set up my audio and my other tripod and whatnot, right? But instead I had to be brave, and in front of a whole congregation of really, I think they were quite devout Christians, so they're all very well behaved. But when the pastor says, everyone now stand up, everyone rise, I'm like, hey, well, pastor, actually, can you just tell everyone to sit down for 5 more minutes? And then they watched me set up, and they watched me put a microphone on the groom, and it was excellent. What an experience, yeah? What a great experience. By the way, this is not going to be as flattering. I can't put the Tiffin filter on because I'm trying to do my apples to spaceship comparison, remember? So this is handheld as well. Let's see how the IBIS works, because there's no stabilization on the f2, on the 28mm f2. And the sound should be the same. And I cannot do a video without making stupid faces, because I'm not used to being in front of the camera. I'll get used to it. Don't worry. I'll get used to it. All right, so there's a point to all this venting and sad stories. So anyway, I get home, right, that night, 2-hour drive home. And I get home and I'm lying on the carpet, probably in this room. I'm lying down, I'm looking at my news feed on the phone, and I see people posting pictures of their new gear. Oh look, I've got the new Sony 24mm GM 1.4, and normally I'll be like, oh, that's cool. But this time I'm looking at it through my experience. I'm looking at it through the lens of my own self-pity. And I'm looking at these people, they're getting excited about camera gear. And I'm thinking the worst. I'm like, that's like your slave master buying you a new cotton picking outfit. Here you go, boy. Oh yes, Yes, look at the fine embroidery and the stitches. Oh, I can bend over my ass, won't split, the crack won't split in the pants. Oh, I'm gonna be excellent with this. Can't wait to pick cotton. That's pretty much how I felt. I hope I don't offend anyone with that example, but it's the only example I can think of right now. Oh, I've got another example actually of new gear. So, I can't remember when, maybe last year, when that new Tamron, maybe it's been longer, Tamron 28-75 came out, the 2.8 for the Sony lenses, and everyone's like, oh wow, this is awesome. Oh, this is all I need now. Oh, this is gonna change the way I film. Oh, I'm gonna put away my other 3 primes. I don't need anything else, I just need this lens. And now, on these same forums I'm reading, particularly one forum, you know who you are. You know who you are. I'm looking at this one forum, and now there's a new Sigma 24-70 that's come out. And now everyone's saying, a bit of truth is coming out, you know. Oh, thank God, oh, can't stand my Tamron 28-75. Can't stand it, oh, it's so soft. Especially in the corners, it's all soft. This Sigma's gonna be so sharp. And across the world, the lens is so sharp, you tack sharp, tack sharp. Sigma 24, Sigma 24-70, tack sharp, tack sharp. You know, we get busted. Do we really need to upgrade? If you have the Tamron 28-75, do you really need that Sigma 24-70? Why do we do it to ourselves? Why? Buy something new, just to get banged up on the job. I think my latest obsession, the holy grail for me, at the moment anyway, is the new Canon full frame C500 Mark II. Like, I'd film everything on that, short films and everything. But could you imagine me at weddings with that? I'd be like, back off, don't touch the camera, don't even breathe on it. Back off, back, distance, 2-3 meters. I think I would have like, I'd make an outfit, like a tutu, that would give me about 1.5 meters space, so no one could come near my precious camera. That'd be all right. Then I'd take it to weddings. Otherwise I'd leave that thing at home. And now, a word from our sponsors. Do you like listening to rants from a jaded wedding videographer? Do you like YouTube? Do you like subscribing to random people on YouTube? Well, you've come to the right place. There's an awesome subscribe button right down there for you to smash. I can even throw in some handy videography tips. Subscribe now, and all your worries will just melt away. Disclaimer that subscribing below does not even mean I will come up with any good content in the future at all. And we're back, and we're filming on the Samsung Galaxy S10 5G again. And I think I've had enough of this comparison. I'm just going to film the rest on the phone, because I like the beauty filter. And I don't have anything similar on the a7 III, because I haven't renewed my subscription for my Magic Bullet Colorista. I've gone into starving artist mode, but I will renew that soon. So I know what you're thinking. That's quite vain, worrying about wrinkles. But I'm getting old, and that's what I worry about. But hey, at least I'm not some well-known English YouTuber who does every video like this. It's a very, very, very good camera. A very good camera. Like at least I'm not doing that. Alright, where else were we? Oh! I almost forgot. You need B-roll, don't you? Otherwise it's not a proper YouTube. Let's see what we have here on the phone already. Let's just use that. Ready, go.
back again. Still on the Samsung 5G. Beauty filter on about 3, I think. 3 out of 9. Okay, so to wrap it all up, would I use this for a short film? Maybe not. I'd still use my Sony. Well, depending on how good of an idea I got, I'd probably go and rent a Blackmagic Pocket 4K or Pocket 6K, because that'll be the cheapest. The best bang for buck. But in a pinch, this will do. This, no, I'm not gonna lie, I'll stick to the Sony a7 III in a pinch. So I'll try to leave you with always a bit of a tip, or at least my recommendations. So the question is, would you film your short film on this? Well, maybe. I would prefer the a7 III, just because I know what I'm getting and there's no surprises. Like, back to my point, if you have good sound, then your footage could be shitty as. Just think of Blair Witch and all the found footage stuff. You don't realise that, but the sound in that is perfect. Anyway, if you're like me, and you just want to get back to making films, and you're a bit of a starving artist, I would recommend worrying more about sound. So my latest recommendation, which is more to myself, is I'd get the new Rode NTG5 and pair that up with a Zoom F6. Because that's the cheapest combination. You'd want the sound devices Mix Pre 3 2, but if you're looking at getting excellent sound quality for the lowest price, I'd recommend people just get that. Get an NTG5 and a Zoom F6. It'll handle nearly 100% of your sound, and whatever it doesn't handle, get some lavs for some establishing shots or in the car, and you're good to go. I don't want to contradict myself, because I'd probably be chasing a different setup for short films, like a S10, but there's levels, what you can afford, and if you want to make a film on this little device, or an a7 III, or whatever you have, I reckon you've got the tools there. Whack on a sexy cinematic LUT, get your footage looking as cinematic as possible, of course. Put the old crop bars on top, but mainly story and good sound. Anyway, that's all from me. I hope you had a great 2019. Hope you got everything done you needed to do. Otherwise, there's always next year. Hope you had a good Christmas and have a happy new year. And a good luck in 2020. And thanks for watching.